Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jcast Experience. I am Jay Wade, and I've got a Tales from Within segment coming for you. This one is from me. About 2001, I went to Amsterdam. All right. Went there with three good friends of mine, and we had a good time indeed. So before we recorded last night's show, I was talking to Drew, and can't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it led into Amsterdam trip. And so I was telling him all about it. Figured it'd be a perfect opportunity to do my first Tales from Within. And I hope you all enjoy. And remember, it was in 2001, so it was a really long time ago. Kick back, relax, enjoy. Thank you very much.
It was awesome. Hell yeah. That lady's like what you hope all Italians are like. They came straight from Sicily.
No shit.
Yeah.
Did they know the Corleones?
I don't know. They were the Marnellis. Because one guy at work says, oh, this guy, he's Italian. You could tell by his last name. I forget what it was, but I'm thinking, I guess. I'm like, yeah, my family's Italian too. So their last name's Marnelli, and then he's like, "Oh wow!" Like, it's like,
damn, dude.
He's like, now that's an Italian last name.
No shit.
Like, oh yeah. But my grandma was born in the United States, but her sisters and brothers were all born in Italy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to Italy someday.
That would be pretty.
There's a lot of places I want to fucking go. For the history and the ancient shit. And,
you should have went while you went to Amsterdam, just get on the train and shit.
Dude, we thought about it, man. We talked about it.
I mean, what's the use of having a passport?
I know.
Just to go to one place ever.
I know. I know.
Especially
dude.
when you're in Europe. I mean, Jesus.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
And don't judge me, but at the time, we went to the red light district, and it was funny because, like, on one side of the canal were the older, wore-out, not-so-good-looking broads, and then on the...
went?
Check them out first, see what was going on there. But then on the other side of the canal was, like, no bullshit, dude, like, fucking supermodels and shit. I mean, like, smoking fucking hot, dude.
Holy crap.
And I couldn't do it. Dudes. One of the guys that went, he did. And he did twice, actually, 2 different nights. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it,
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, dude.
I caught a disease.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Dude, they have a system, where they get tested on a very regular basis, all that.
All right.
But it was just the thing where, like, I don't want to feel all nasty. I paid the chick to fuck me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like,
crazy.
Today, I'm totally, like, when in Rome, dude, what was I thinking? It was legal, so, whatever it was, I should have done it, dude. I should have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm married, so obviously I wouldn't do it, but if you're single and you had the cash, when in Rome.
Yep.
That's oh man, you fucked up.
Yes, I did.
But no, that's not bad. At least you had a standard of morals for yourself.
True.
Some people, they just are like, you know what? That looks nice. I'm gonna dip my wick in that, and then next thing you know, they're doing it. They're paying for it all the time, and then next thing you know, you're poor, and all the money you have is going toward paying hookers.
Yeah.
Just like on Grandma's Boy.
Right.
Spent all of his money on the hookers.
And I should have done it. I should have done it, dude. But I bought a shit ton of weed, though, and it was awesome.
Well.
And staying in that hostel was insane fun, dude. It was the craziest shit. I had never experienced anything like it before in my life. Probably never will again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was... Have you ever been to a hostel?
Nope.
Dude, it's like, all right, there's a lounge area in the front, and this is like everyone who's staying there. It's a community, everyone who's staying there. And then there's computers for internet, and then there was a pool table, and then There was a movie room downstairs, and none of this was all open 24/7. Like you could, there was like where the movie room closed down at 11 o'clock at night. Like you could go down there at 2 in the morning if you want. Just put in one of their movies and just start watching shit.
No shit.
Laundry room down there, kitchen. I mean, like in
So was it nice though too?
It was, yeah, it was nice, dude.
Yeah.
Flying pig, and it was on a back alley thing. It was cool, and then
seems weird, I'm sure, at first though.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. And then the rooms, well, normally you can't get more. Like if you have a group, like we had 4 people. Normally, you can't really get everybody in the same room kind of deal because normally it's like 1 or 2 people who are traveling and they're staying in these cheaper places and shit. And but you have there were 2 bunk beds, so there's each room slept 4 people, and there's a 1 bathroom in there with a shower and shit.
Yeah.
But we lucked out and we got 1 room for ourselves, so that was cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. And something that was crazy, I got the top bunk, and something that was crazy was, I don't know what time it was, because our hours were fucking nuts, dude. We, like, got up at, I don't know, but we were always out at, like, 3 to 5 in the morning and shit, walking around the city and shit. It was awesome, but, like, we're sleeping, it was probably about 10 o'clock in the morning or so. We were all passed out, and I opened my eyes, and I saw a guy walking through the room, and he looked over at me and just, like, kind of stopped and froze there. And, like, I remember thinking, like, this is fucked up, dude. And he's looked at me, and he smiled a little bit and nodded at me, and then I just kind of nodded at him, and then he kept walking, and he climbed out the window. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? And I kind of sat up in bed, and I looked out toward the window, and I had forgotten that there was scaffolding out there, and they were working on the place, and he needed to go through our room to get to the... But it was just insane, being totally fucking hungover on weed and shit from the day before, and just open your eyes and see some dude, you're in a foreign country, and see some dude walking through your room and just stops and looks at you and smiles and nods and walks out the window. It's like, holy shit, dude.
You're laying there with a sleep boner.
I don't know about that. But it was real good times, and we met a dude from Middletown, man. And he was out. Yeah, I know.
What the fuck? How's
I know.
That happen?
Well, he was one of my buddies. I almost name dropped, but one of my buddies who I was there with was walking with me up to the post office and shit. It was on Sunday morning, and there was a dude in the square or a square, and he was handing out flyers for a hallucinogen shop. And he's like, started talking to us, or like went to hand it to us, and we're like, hey, thanks, man. And he's like, oh, hey, man, where are you guys from? And then we heard he was American. From his accent, he was American. And we're like, Dayton, Ohio, because it's easier that way. We're like, Dayton, Ohio. And he said, man, I'm from Middletown. And we're like, holy shit. So we just got to talking to him, and he was over his allotted time as a guest in that country. But he was living there on the down low in exchange for passing out the flyers for a hallucinogen shop and some other places. They'd hook him up with a little bit of money in a room up above their place.
Oh, wow.
But dude, it was crazy. He was like, you guys want to go to the cheapest coffee shop in Amsterdam? And we're like, yeah, because that's what coffee shops is what they call. That's where you get your weed and shit. You know that, but and so like we're like, hell yeah, dude. And it was raining out, not hard, but it was a steady drizzle rain. And he was like, all right, cool. So we start walking, and we just walking, and we get off the main road, and we turn onto an alley, and then we're going down the alley for a while, and then we turn onto a back alley, and then we're going down a back alley, and I'm not exaggerating at all. And then after that, we turned onto a back alley that got to be like in the fucking movies and shit when somebody's being chased in Europe, and it's like
you're squeezing through sideways.
Kind of, it's like 3 or 4 foot wide alley, like back alley.
Yeah.
And that's when I was kind of like, dude, he seems cool, but I mean, that's when I was kind of, you take the first couple back alleys and you're like, this is weird, but you hit that one, and I'm just like, dude, this is fucking crazy. So we get to this opening wasn't even a door, just an opening with like a fucking rug hanging over it, and the rug was soaking wet from the rain, and we walked in, and there was a little counter up here on the right, and fucking in the back there's a bunch of people sitting in a circle on these couches and shit, and he's like, hey, what's up? So he obviously knew the guy who owned the place, and it was an Aussie guy who owned the place, and then there was a kid there from Korea, and he had dreads, like long fucking dreads, dude. That was crazy as hell, man.
That's awesome.
And then there was a Dutch kid there, and he was all into Blink 182. He was jamming Blink 182 and had on the wife beater and the shorts and the hat sideways. I mean, like, what you would think as American Blink 182 kid.
Yeah.
He was cool as fuck. And then it was me and my buddy, and then the dude from Middletown, and we're all just sitting there smoking some weed and shit, and my buddy asked for a menu to look at what the guy had for sale, and he's like, here you go, and he goes, all, the weeds and the hashes and shit are on the front, and on the back is the hard shit. And it didn't dawn on me till I looked at the menu, but like hard shit,
Yeah.
like the heroin and the fucking opium and all that kind of shit, and I'm like, that's when I started getting like kind of sketched out a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit crazy now.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah. Well, it turns out he was the cheapest coffee shop in Amsterdam because he didn't pay taxes. He was an illegal shop. And so while we're there, some dude walked in and like they went in a back room and did some deal. I would only imagine probably heroin or something if you're doing that. Weeds right there behind the counter. That dude leaves, and then we're sitting there burning down, and then two gorgeous girls from Greece walk in, dude. Like fucking angels, man. They were beautiful, dude. And they barely spoke English, dude. And all the only communication that was worked out was that they were cold and wet, and they wanted to make tea, and they had the tea, and they wanted to know if that guy there had the stuff for them to make it, and if we wanted some. That was the only communication we could work out. But that it was like one of those moments where like that was all that needed to be worked out. It was just really fucking cool, dude. So then they made the tea, and I don't drink tea, so I declined, but then we're all sitting there, all these different nationalities and shit, dude, just sitting there smoking dope and drinking tea, and half of us can't communicate with the other half, but who cares, dude? It was awesome. Yeah. Yep.
Hand signals. Huh?
Hand signals.
Yeah, that's how you get through. I need to dip this in that water that's hot.
But yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome.
Well, a lot of cool stuff happened. Like, I don't know, we found this Le Cafe Chocolat. Or was it Cafe Le Chocolat? No, it was Le Cafe Chocolat. Something like that. But that's where we got all our, our hash bonbons and space cake and shit, dude. We got that there, and fucking the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life was fucking in a little deli kind of place across the street from our hostel, and right next to that upstairs was Blues Brothers, a coffee shop, so that was right fucking there. And
was it a McRoyale with cheese?
No. No, it wasn't. But it was awesome, dude. I mean, it was just, the meat was like so fucking good, dude. I loved the meat in my mouth, dude. It was so juicy, and it just melted in my mouth.
Oh, I've always known you love meat.
Yeah.
Deep in your throat.
And then the bread was yeastless, so it was like the flat,
Yeah, flatbread.
It was so good, dude. And then, I don't know, just so much cool shit. Like, we smoked a joint, dude, leaning up against the, in Dam Square, leaning up against the Royal Palace. I mean, obviously, like, no one lives there, but from the old times.
Yeah.
But we're just sitting there leaning up against that, dude, smoking down, and fucking couple cops walked by and just, like, looked over at us, saw us smoking, and just kept on walking, and...
Oh, that's awesome.
Met a Scottish dude at 3 in the morning the first night we got there. Fucking, he was cool, and he chased an English kid down the street, and because he hated English, and like, I mean, yeah, he chased this dude down the street. He came back to kick it with us again, but he chased this fucking English kid down the street who was looking for money and shit, dude. Well, when we first met the guy, he was like English, and he asked me. I don't know why, I guess closest, but he asked me, and I'm like, yeah, and then like he gave us this look, and one of my friends, she caught on, and she's like, no, wait, we're American. And he goes, oh, okay, okay. Thick Scottish accent. I'm doing some stupid fucking accent. I don't know what it is, but nothing like Scottish. But
Yeah.
I couldn't understand what he was saying, dude. I thought he was saying, do you speak English? But he was asking, are you English? And then she caught on and was like, no, we're Americans. Then he was all like, and hugged us. He's like, love Americans. Yeah, and I'm still doing a stupid non-Scottish accent. But
Yeah.
then he loved us, dude. We were his best friends, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm not going to say what, but something really badass happened right there off them blocks, dude, on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It was cool. On the blocks, not like on something on the blocks. And
Oh, that's cool.
that was crazy. And then, I don't know, we got lost one day. Same day we fell asleep in the coffee shop there. True stories, all of them, dude. It was crazy.
I'm sure they're used to that.
Well, oh man, I don't know. It was that year's winner for the Cannabis Cup, and they had Blueberry was the winner.
Yeah.
I think it was the Noon coffee shop. And we go in there, and we bought a bunch of shit, dude. Like, sat back at this table and started burning down, dude. And, I don't remember passing out, but what I do remember is opening my eyes, and the guy who was behind the counter and then his buddy or whatever over in the corner were looking at us laughing, and then I looked and my three friends were passed out too. So I just went back to sleep, dude. I was fucking, dude. That was our first day there. I mean, we had the jet lag going on and all that, dude. We were all fucking out of whack.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.